Hey, what's up YouTube? Welcome back to my channel. I'm sorry that I haven't posted the season finale of Titans for a little bit. I got a little bit sick, and with the holidays, my work schedule kind of fluctuated, and with the holidays and everything, I just didn't really get time to get around to doing it. But here it is, finally one of my days off. Have the season finale of Titans for you. It is episode 11. Also titled Dick Grayson. Also, I want to apologize if I still sound a little nasally. I'm still getting over being sick. Episode starts out, you can clearly tell it's either somewhere in the future or some kind of like alternate reality, but Dick Grayson lives in California. He has a son. He's married to pregnant Dawn, so they're about to have their second kid. They get a FaceTime from Gar and Rachel, who are apparently in college now, and it's not shown or explained if they're a couple or not. It's not really important. So everybody has a seemingly normal life, and then Jason Todd shows up in a wheelchair. He explains that it is 5 years in the future and that Batman is in some kind of trouble. So he's coming there to get Dick to see if he'll help, because he seems like he's the only person that could help him, and according to some other superheroes that Jason overheard, like Superman, a couple other people were saying that, he wasn't quite the same after Dick left being Robin. So that was kind of interesting to hear. An interesting thing that happens in this episode that we kind of can immediately tell that, this isn't really happening or it's some kind of alternate reality is that every time Dick is trying to say no, he's trying to live his life without being Robin or being associated with Bruce, something always gets altered and it brings him back or forces him into a decision. And that'll come up as a key thing later that I'll explain, but it's just a cool thing that, at first you're not really sure what to make of it, and then as you see it go on, you kind of piece it together and go, oh, okay, this is what's going on here. Jason also explains, though, that the Riddler shot him in the back, which is interesting because he also starts saying that, he never carried guns, but the way things are now, he did, and that's what happened to him. Commissioner Gordon is dead. He also says that Alfred is dead, and the main reason he's there is because he's basically saying that Batman is going to kill the Joker once and for all, and like I just explained, he thinks Dick's the only person who can save him. There's a scene later in this episode where Batman apparently does kill the Joker after Dick returns to Gotham and he's just about to leave. So yet again, another thing coincidentally happens that keeps him there. And then we see Trigon appear as a cop. So at this point, we ultimately know this is not happening. We know that this is something going on in Dick's head, or, something is happening here, but it's not what's really going on in the real world. Just as Dick is about to now leave, his world gets altered so that the Joker comes back to life, and it kind of is an eerie thing when you think about it, and that's, like I've said multiple times throughout the series, that I enjoy that they kind of aren't afraid to go with this dark thing, and I don't see what the big deal is, why everybody makes such a big deal out of it. It's fiction, it's a movie, it's entertainment. Let it be what it wants to be, and let it do the source material good. That's all I want as a DC fan, and that's all I want as an entertainment movie fan. Dick then goes to Bruce's house and tries to talk to him, and we think that he's not there, but we do see that Bruce is actually sitting there watching, and he just kind of refuses to talk to Dick to kind of show the state that he's in. So after Dick leaves there, he gets a call. Dick then goes to see the Joker in the hospital for some reason. I'm not sure why he wants to go visit him. I guess he's just sympathetic, or just to see if he actually is still alive. Corey then shows up, and, at this point you can kind of tell certain people are, like, kind of subconscious figures in Dick's mind, like Corey, I feel like, is, because she's still technically a love interest of his, even though in this reality he's still with Dawn, or he married Dawn. And then right after that, Batman shows up, kills the Joker, and then takes off, which, who doesn't want to see that, but they don't really show anything. But still a badass scene. Shortly after that, we find out that Corey calls Dick and says that, he has to get over to Arkham Asylum because Batman has gone on a rampage and starts killing a bunch of his villains. The ones that you can tell that you can see for certain that he kills, and this really excites me for the future, because even though they don't really show like what the the villains actually look like, but just to kind of be able to pull from so many different characters and have the possibility of so many great actors and actresses portraying these people, it just really excites me for the future, and I can't wait to see who they bring up later down the line, not just in Titans, but possibly in their own show or something like that. At one point in the episode, Dick goes to Trigon's character, who's a cop in this reality, and he tells him who Batman is. He tells him that it's Bruce Wayne, and for some reason Trigon kind of seems shocked, like, really, it's Bruce Wayne? I'm not sure if this is like something underlining, like he's actually trying to figure out who Batman is. I'm not sure. I mean, I don't know if at this point they know who each other are or anything like that, but it just kind of seemed like the way the character portrayed it, he was kind of just shocked. Unless he was just shocked that it was, like an average man like Bruce Wayne. So later, Dick and the police force and SWAT team, whatever you want to call it, they raid Bruce's manor, and they think they have a leg up because Dick used to live there, and the plan that they come up, Batman just baffles all of them, and their plan basically goes to shit. So Batman outsmarts all of them, despite Dick thinking, he would have a leg up on this. And then, at the end of the scene, Batman blasts Corey with a freeze gun or an ice gun. I'm not sure if that's, Mr. Freeze's or not, but this scene was really awesome because they really showed this, brutal version of Batman. And, I know that's not what people want to see, and I know it's not completely true to, the lore, but, like I said, when they're dealing with these things in these, alternate versions, I don't mind because it's not real. It's not, what's really happening at this point in the story, like the storyline or anything like that, it's just let it be what it is. Anyway, Corey dies after that, apparently, it looks like, and then they blow up Wayne Manor. They collapse it on top of the Batcave, which is an interesting idea. I mean, I'm not sure if anybody's thought of doing that before, like in the comics or anything. I mean, I think the closest thing that they did was in Batman Begins when they set the house on fire, but that wasn't necessarily to do anything to the Batcave. So after they collapse the manor on top of itself, we see that Dick goes down there, sees that Corey's dead, and Batman is pinned under some rubble, and he's reaching out for Dick to help. He doesn't say anything, but Dick kind of has this moment of, where he could help him and possibly, continue to try to get this help that he's been trying to give him emotionally throughout the episode. But instead of doing that, he kills him. He crushes the rock down on him more, ultimately, making some kind of decision that it shows, back into what's actually happening in reality, and we do in fact see that Trigon is actually in Dick's head. He has some kind of control over him, and that's what we kind of thought was going to happen. I just wasn't sure because they did surprise me with a couple episodes thinking I knew what was going to happen. And Trigon basically says that Dick has embraced his darkness by killing Batman, and I guess in that sense that means that Trigon can have, control over him or whatever, but it also, I believe, Trigon says that, when he was going to break Rachel's heart, this is what he meant, so that he was going to use Dick for that, which I also predicted earlier in another episode. And one thing I'm interested to see is now that, Dick kind of had this whole process of this whole season of kind of reinventing himself and figure out who he's going to be, he is now, in a sense, a prisoner, and I want to see if next season, if they're going to maybe, break him a little bit and have him come back again and then, find his identity as Nightwing, because, like I said before, I didn't think they were going to try to throw Nightwing in that quick, so I'm glad they're taking the time to actually build up to it, which was probably going to happen next season, but believe me, I can wait for that. And then also there's an end credit scene in this episode, which is awesome because it has Superboy and Krypto in it, which, it doesn't show who's playing Superboy, but it's kind of hinting at that, they're going to be getting into a lot more episodes. So this show is ultimately going to take off to kind of be like a live-action Justice League, which is the way it seems, and that's going to be awesome. They're doing a great job with it so far. I feel like I really grew with this show because I was a little skeptical first. I still knew I was going to take a chance and watch it, and I ended up just loving this show. I mean, there was a few times in the show where, they kind of had, emotional parts, and I remember sitting, sitting there in my chair like, oh man, like DC might actually make me like tear a second. And yeah, to me that just proves that this is going to be nothing but a great show, and I can't wait for the next season. And also another great show it looks like is going to be is Doom Patrol, which I wasn't going to review, but looking at it, I mean, I may have to, and I think I'm going to review that when that comes out. And so this is going to be the last episode for Titans until the next season. Until then, I'm going to do Doom Patrol and then, you know, movie reviews and a couple other things. But I just wanted to thank everybody who watched these episodes. Still want to know what you guys think about the next season or this episode, what happened. Leave a comment, subscribe, and I look forward to seeing you guys on my next adventure.